Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Entropia content. Now I've got some Mind Dark news to start off the show today, and I'll probably get into that right away. I just wanted to take a thumbnail picture, nice little teleporter I found yesterday. Now I was going around doing the rest of my mining mission and I fucking did it in the evening. Idiot. I should have just did it when I was doing it in the morning, because I bet you any money I go back to the teleporter now or Crystal Peak and I'm not going to be able to get the new daily mission yet. So I'll have to wait till tomorrow now to do it. Now, what was the Entropia news that I had? Oh yeah, there was a whole bunch of questions from the viewers. I got some cool information from Avalon. Eruptor. He posted a really cool thing yesterday. I'll show you guys that. Crystal Peak. We got some questions from the viewers, or not viewers, just Entropia people on the whatchamacallit, the Entropia Facebook page. And the one guy was asking that he did the Riverside survey and he wanted his ped and his shirt, and he's wondering where he can collect it and how. Oh, here's Big Daddy. That's my friend from Rocktropia. He owns the shops next to mine at Camp Crunk. Or he used to own the one next to me. Now he owns the one over. Anyway. Oh, he left. He ran away. Maybe he didn't see me yet. Or maybe he did and I just have the chat way up here. So anyways, what the deal was, what I was talking about, the person wanted to know where they can collect the Riverside stuff. So you go to this teleporter called Crystal Peak. I'm just showing you where I found him before. I don't know if he's going to be here again, but I'm assuming this is the main place everyone hangs out. So what was Socrates was standing here, and he's an official Next Island representative. You have a little star above his head. You can ask him and he'll have the information on where to get the stuff from Riverside. I believe he's handing it out. Alright, looks like lots of people here. It looks like Yoshi's hanging out here every day now. It's pretty sweet, eh? You know it's a good place to hang out if Yoshi's here. She's a pretty uber character in the game, so that's one key I noticed for beginner players. If you want to find out what the good players are doing, check out where the ubers are at. Right, so this sucks. I can't do the fucking mission for crafting the Lesser Elijah, even though my stuff arrived from auction. So what I'll do is I'll start up a regular crafting run. Yeah, let's see if we can get some good loot out of this terminal. Remember last terminal I tried before? It fucking sucked balls, not in a good way. So let's give her a shot. Now I did find some new crafting terminals when I was finishing my mining mission yesterday. Maybe I'll show you guys on the map. Yeah, so what I did yesterday is I progressed along this side and I managed to get a couple of these green areas. I think this one I never had before. And a couple new teleporters along here. And they look pretty cool. The mining really sucked balls there, so I don't know. I'll probably go back up there and mine next time, but oh, I shouldn't say it sucked balls too bad, because check out what I got. I'll put it in storage before I start crafting. Alright, holy shit, I got lots of stuff here. Now this obviously isn't all from the mining run. Some of this is still the leftover from my crafting run. My 1,000 ped crafting run that's taken months to complete, or weeks. Now this is what I managed to get, is I picked up another Blood of the Gods mining. So I'm pretty sure both times I mined Blood of the Gods, it was when I had just the regular resources, not the minerals or whatever. What is it, materials and not mined resource. Well, fuck, that's wrong. I was gonna say end matter and matter or something like that. I forget what they call it. So yeah, now I've got 2 Blood of the Gods. Which, no one's responded yet how much it's worth. So I'm assuming that you just can't even trade it because it's a mission item, but I don't know. Oh yeah, and they gave me a big stack, 138 Bombardo and 1 pick. So that was pretty sweet. Alright, I'm over 1,000 Bombardo. So if anyone wants to buy a K of fruit from me and help out the show, just let me know. Obviously I won't be able to put it for sale in a shop because I don't have a shop on Next Island. And I'm not planning on putting on an auction after how fucking shitty my Rocktropia auction's been lately. I don't want to spend a fortune in fees and sell nothing. Or sell it for way worse than it, or less than it's worth. God, I still can't get over that Rocktropia failure. But really, I should get that out of my mind and think about, what was it, the other bigger failure? Oh yeah, the Next Island shares. Yeah, let's see how far they've collapsed in price. Just for shits and giggles. I'll try not to have a meltdown. Oh god. Oh, they're stabilizing at around 9 ped. That's not so bad. Here I was terrified, but I was thinking they were going to make it down to 1 ped each. Now, if anyone doesn't remember or wasn't around in the game, that's what happened to Calypso land deeds. When they first started selling them, the game started selling them in, what was it? I'll show you guys. Just as a review. I know I talked about it before, but we got some new show viewers, so I'll show them quick. Finishing quick is my specialty, and then we'll get to Avalon's news. So yeah, so what happened is if you went up here to global auction, you could buy the Calypso land deeds. But what happened is Mindark sucks really bad at notifying players what's happening in the game. So like 90% of the people didn't realize that you could buy the fucking deeds here on the global auction. So what people were doing was buying it from the global auction, then putting it for sale like the next second on the regular auction and doubling their money in some cases. I know one guy in my society doubled his money over 100 times. So I was like, holy shit, man, you like just made $1,000 off Mindark's fucking utter stupidity. Well, speaking of, let's get to Avalon's news. Yeah, so Avalon made a shirt. I don't know if, I guess maybe it's for real. He's selling a shirt called Mind Fart. Yeah, so not to make fun of Mindark so much, they're trying the best they can. And hell, I would say it's a Swedish thing, but the way they're handling the pandemic, man, they got the last laugh for me making fun of them. Our fucking country is a fucking nightmare compared to what they got. They actually had a smarter government than ours. But anyways, yeah, so it's definitely not a Swedish thing. Sorry guys, I'm always the worst for picking on people. I'll try to be nicer. So anyways, yeah, what happened was after a while, Mindark realized the fuck up, and I can't remember how they corrected it. Maybe they put the Calypso deeds up for sale on the regular auction. But yeah, so that's what happens. Sometimes the deeds will fluctuate. Calypso land deeds were selling for 800 ped at one point, and that's when I bought 30 of them. Because I knew, well, I had a feeling they were going to go up in value. And then I ended up selling them all for 2100 ped a few years later each. So yeah, that was a little bit of adventure. So if anyone's wondering how to make money off deeds, there still is a little bit of play in these Next Island deeds, so now's one of your chances. You can probably buy them now for cheaper than you can get them, and maybe one day they're just like the Calypso land deeds. Who knows, if we can keep promoting Next Island and get it popular than Calypso, boom, it would all of a sudden change to being a high-priced deed. I know that's a pretty big if, so only risk what you can afford to lose, I'd say. Alright, so I'll get into some more news. I got some more gaming news, but first let's begin the crafting run so we can get some shit done while I talk. Oh god, I can't even, there it is. My memory has taken a little bit of a turn for the worse these past couple days. So I'm thinking maybe I'm a little bit low on nutrients from cutting back for the eating less. So yesterday I plowed back a good sized dinner. Didn't like cut back portions ridiculously, and I stayed away from the junk food part of it, so wasn't so bad to eat lots. Now let's check out my weight gain or loss. I just did a measurement. I'm not even sure if I'm up or down. Alright, that's what she said. Now what do we got here? 30% power, okay. Yeah, 202.4 is what I'm at, which is pretty sweet. I have to reach 194 in order to get back to green and normal weight. So I'm under the 10 pound mark to go. That's pretty sweet. I was hoping I could do it by the end of sober October. Alright, so yeah, that's sweet. What are the other trends? I've only got one category now that's in yellow. And it's the, what is it? Subcutaneous fat stored in your skin to your body weight. Yeah, so my skin is still fat. But I noticed I am getting a little bit of the fucking loose skin in my stomach because Been just killing the fucking sit-ups the past week. Back actually got a little bit sore last night, thank God, because I was even considering doing 400 a day. No, like 300 a day seemed like a breeze, so I was like, geez, maybe I should bump it up to 4, but no, then my back quickly erased any thoughts of that. Alright, oh, a pet already in crafting, sweet. Now it says my weight's down, yeah, that's good. Overall, it's a little bit lower than it's ever been yet. 202.8 was my previous record, so 202.4, beat it by a 0.4. That's good. Alright, let's check out the muscle damage, see if I went up or down. Whatever. Yeah, it says that I went down another 0.4 muscle since yesterday, which I highly, well, maybe my muscle got leaner. I got some bad news and good news yesterday. Mostly bad news. No, yesterday I was biking to the disc golf course. I was like, man, I'm getting really tired. I'm only halfway there. What the hell's going on? Didn't really look at my bike. I knew that my tire was going to be blown any day now. And then when I finished the disc golf course, well, disc golf game, I played against my buddy, sort of like the year-end tournament to see who was better. Just got my ass slaughtered. But I did try my new disc in the game, so I was thinking I'll give him a chance because normally I use just the same disc every time and beat him. And I wanted to lose because I felt bad because of the fucking... I haven't been going to the Paris League at all. I know you guys probably remember I went to compete in that league once a week. I quit going because the one guy I used to hang out with and was friends with, he's doing the whole like Mennonite shunning me thing. So it's like, I don't know, I don't really want to hang out with people like that. So as much as I like disc golf, I'm just going to find some new friends to hang out with. Screw them. I know it's kind of mean and all, but like I've already apologized to him, so there's nothing really much else I can do. I'm pretty sure he's been talking a lot of shit behind my back, saying bullshit to other people about me. So if I find out any of that, I have a really bad temper, so it's probably better I just steer clear of that whole situation, let him say whatever he wants, and I don't know, anyone who's really my friend won't believe him, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't want to get too negative, but so yeah, what happened was during the disc golf game, both my discs broke. So it's like neither of them would fly straight anymore. And it was kind of annoying because the guy I was playing with, he starts giving me advice. He's like, oh, you're shooting really horrible. You should try to shoot more like my style and throw like this. How you're shooting is all wrong. And I was thinking, dear God, man, I slaughtered you all year and you beat me one game and now you're starting to give me advice on how you shoot better. But not to be mean about it or anything, I just thought that was kind of funny. No, it was my discs. Both of them were broken. They wouldn't fly straight anymore and I actually threw it in the water twice. And it was like back-to-back water shots. So I found that kind of funny. I played 2 seasons without ever going in the water, and then all of a sudden this game when my disc is broken, just fucking goes right in the water each time. So I was like, fuck it. And it's funny, because disc golf right now, because of the whole fucking artificial lockdown from the fake pandemic, which, no, the pandemic is real. It's very real. I completely agree with the World Health Organization. No, my friend Ryan, or not a friend, fellow YouTuber from Toronto, he's a comedian, and he's talking about how he figured out how to beat the YouTube censorship. And he said every time that you're saying something that breaks the rules of YouTube or whatever, their official statements you have to agree with or you get your channel shut down, he's like, now all he does is he says, yes, I completely agree with the pandemic. Listen to the authorities. They're completely right. He's like, just be sarcastic with head movements. And really the algorithm can't tell if you're being sarcastic or making like weird noises or hand symbols. At least the algorithm hasn't evolved to that yet. So you really can get away with saying what you really mean without getting censored just by being sarcastic about it. So I was like, yeah, not to be totally sarcastic, my channel really doesn't agree with the official statements. But I couldn't believe it. The Netherlands is now suing over the fake pandemic. I hope more countries get on and we get our free speech back on YouTube. This is fucking unreal how long this has gone on for. I was thinking maybe a couple months at most, but jeez. Was I way off on that? Like most things, I probably am way off, but I still try either way. Now, the other gaming news I had is I like to follow the new Atari system that's coming out, the Atari VCS. Technically, the name Atari VCS is identical to their oldest system, so I don't know, what's with companies these days? How could you name two consoles the exact same thing? It doesn't make any sense, but hey, maybe in the world of opposites, that's exactly what they should do. But anyways, this was the news that they were sharing. I guess I was a couple days ahead. I swear I didn't create this. So the Atari VCS news was the cargo ship sinks at sea carrying the Atari VCS backer units. Expect delays of 6 to 8 months for the new units to ship. And I'm pretty sure that's just a joke because as far as I know, the Atari VCS has already shipped to backers, but maybe some people haven't received theirs, or maybe there's been some sort of delay, or maybe there was a problem with the controllers. I heard that was a possibility. So yeah, it was funny how the sinking ship dream did come true, but it just took one extra day than it usually does. And I don't know what it is. Normally when I dream the future, it's always 24 hours or months in advance. It's never like a week or two in advance. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Alright, so I gotta go carry my uncle. I'll be right back. Ah, shit, that sucks. I left the crafting going while we were gone. Maybe I'll hit pause and see what happened. Imagine I did something good and wasn't even here to see it, or stopped recording. Alright, so they gave me energy source, ornaments, 50 ped. Now this has pretty much been a garbage crafting run. Let's try between the T's, my favorite position. There we go. Sometimes it's hard to fit between the T's. Right, no, I got some other news about how my channel in general is going and progressing. I know I mentioned it to some other people and got a lot of support actually. People are interested to see my outdoor vlogging series. And my big plan was, I was thinking that I was going to try to do some biking footage, added in with a bit of walking around and talking, so that at least I had like a variety of shots to go with. And then the multiple cameras so that I could actually have more like a TV type vlog where it actually looks a little bit more professional, more than one angle, the same things happening. So yeah, I was like, oh, looking forward to that. And what do you know, fucking after my disc broke at the disc golf course, my bike was fucking shot. Tires are done. One tire was completely flat and the one that was slashed open. So I was like, oh fuck, I had to walk all the way back from the disc golf course. And it was good to actually have that walk because I was thinking about the Chinese farmer story the whole way. I'm like, A, I can't buy new discs anymore. The lockdown has created a giant shortage where all the discs are sold out. Can't get them anywhere, probably till next year or the year after. Fuck, another garbage print, the armament device too. So I was like, that was kind of horse shit. And then the other problem is the bike shortage. We got such a bike shortage in my town. It's like you can't get new parts for bikes. You can't even get new bikes. They're all sold out. The used bikes, fucking old rusty piece of shit, selling for like $200. I ain't gonna spend that money on that. I'll just wait for for countries to keep suing the World Health Organization and end this fucking lockdown nonsense. But yeah. So that's what I was like thinking about when I was walking home. I'm like, maybe the Chinese farmer tale is what I should be thinking of instead of freaking out. Like, technically it would have been easy for me to freak out. My fucking disc golf game is shot for the whole rest of the year. My biking is all shot for the rest of the year. And that's my huge plan for fucking filming and all. So it was kind of devastating. But then the Chinese farmer tale, I was thinking, wait a minute. Maybe this is just leading me to something better and I don't even realize it yet. So what I had been doing is previously I had been contemplating, like, I used to be really big into rollerblading. And I was thinking, geez, all this biking I'm doing is only isolating one group of muscles in my fucking legs. And it's right near my knees. And I was thinking, geez, I should add some muscle to the other groups to balance it out. Not that I just get like this weird shaped legs, like biker's legs or whatever, right? So then what got me thinking is like, hey, I don't know, could I, instead of biking and vlogging, do rollerblading and vlogging? I was like, I don't know, like there's not a whole lot of people doing that. There's mostly people just biking and vlogging. And then I was like, well, wait a minute, maybe instead of copying everyone's ideas of just biking and vlogging, what I should be doing is trying to do something a little bit more different so that my channel can stand out a little bit more. So I was like, yeah, maybe this rollerblading and filming or vlogging would actually work. But then I started to get a little bit down in the dumps about it. I'm like, oh, maybe that's a shitty idea and I shouldn't order rollerblades. And then guess what I got in my news feed on Facebook? Here, I'll show it to you guys. Do you ever notice, like, sometimes in life you get these weird synchronicities that keep occurring when you're on the right path to something? Like, it's almost like the creator trying to say, hey, you're on the right path, keep doing that shit, right? Yeah, so this is the ad I got. Hopefully I won't get this taken down for showing a quick few seconds of an ad. I'll try to just maybe do 8 seconds. Or maybe I'll just do a still image of it. Yeah, so anyways, this is the ad that I got shown. Some guy filming and rollerblading, and what does it say? Creative low-budget filmmaking. I was like, isn't that weird, right? Like, just when I was debating whether or not this rollerblading and filming idea is a good idea or a complete disaster just in the making. So maybe it will be a complete disaster in the making, but I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot anyways. I ordered the rollerblades, and they said they're going to be here in a couple days. But my last package from Amazon that said it's going to be here in a couple days, it's fucking almost like a month later and still no sign of it. And Amazon just keeps saying it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. So, we'll see. It's the only dangerous thing is, like, usually when you're rollerblading, you have to use your hands a lot for balance. But, not to jinx it, but I used to rollerblade every day for, like, my entire teenage years. It was my main mode of transportation at one point. Me and my buddies used to get all partied up and then go rollerblading in the middle of the night. Sometimes we would go onto really big, like, 4-lane highway type roads that were under construction and then just rollerblade up the middle of them because they'd be freaking completely smooth, brand new roads, and they'd have them blocked off with cones so no one could drive on them. So we would just fly through the city on these, like, brand new roads that no one else was on. It was so much fun. Like, we would, like, rollerblade 2-3 hours a night sometimes. Just all over the city. And man, do your legs ever get ripped from rollerblading? So I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good idea. I can get different leg muscle exercise and add something different to the vlogging. And I was thinking too, that'll be neat for one-take vlogs. Because I noticed some channels that do one-take vlogs are really popular. Like, you can see the whole adventure, no cutscenes all the time. But I was like, man, if I do biking adventures, I always have to stop, lock the bike, and then I'll probably end up stopping and cutting all that shit out. But this way, with rollerblading, when I arrive at my destination, I won't have to take the rollerblades off. I can still go around the destination with them on. So I could do it all in one take. Which will be great for my editing, because I fucking suck balls at editing. Man. I don't know if you noticed, but most cases when something fucks up on my show, I really don't edit. I just occasionally hit the pause button while I'm recording. And if there's a bad fuck up, I do a whole new episode. Because if I try editing, it usually turns out so bad that I lose tons of resolution. And I don't get it. Already on OBS, I'm recording in 1080, and when I upload it to Facebook or YouTube, it's saying that it's 720. So I'm not sure what the deal with that is, why OBS is telling me I'm recording one thing and YouTube's accepting it as another. Yeah, if anyone figures that out, that'd be helpful. I don't know what, like, I think it could be the pausing feature. Every time I pause, it changes the file format, and then it lowers the resolution or something. I don't know. Yeah, big shout out to all the viewers that tried to win the 100 ped. Sorry I managed to solve the problem before anyone else was able to give me advice to do it. But to be fair, no one else actually did give any advice in the chat that would have solved the problem. Now the problem was I was having that my computer would never boot up automatically, even though I set it to boot up automatically in the settings, so I don't have to keep putting in a password every fucking time my computer restarts. Because, like, really, I've never needed it once. Alright, there we got another print, but it's absolute bullshit. Alright, so as good as that was, let's get out of this crafting terminal. I want to try a new one. Alright, now I got distracted what I was saying there. Fuck. Now, tonight's the big games night with the guys. We were supposed to have an outdoor fire because everyone was worried about the pandemic still. Some of my friends even work in the COVID wards at the hospital, so it's going to be pretty risky to hang out with everyone inside. But then it got freezing cold outside and all my friends are like, fuck it, we'll just go inside to party. So I really don't know how long I'm going to go to that party, because everyone's just going to be getting hammered there, and it's probably going to be not the greatest environment to be hanging out sober. But I'll probably go for the food and then just head out. Now everyone wanted me to bring some of my harvest season weed so they could try it. So I'm going to bring the weed, I'll drop it off for everyone. And yeah, oh yeah, and then a buddy of mine gave me a stick of butter that he made, so I might bring that to the party too. But I can't drink any booze or weed. I was even considering a cigarette, but I'm like, no, I don't want to get back into smoking. And then really that is just another drug. Can't remember, what was that cool crafting terminal that everyone was going to that I liked? I think it was near the bottom of the list. Now it looks like there's some sort of sweat event going on there. I would take part in it, but man, I gotta finish this crafting shit so I can get going. I've got a whole bunch of Halloween stuff I gotta do. Can't remember, was this the place everyone liked crafting that was good? Well, let's try it. I don't see anyone here. And I think it was a smaller place, but we'll give it a shot. Sometimes they like to mix up the loot, I find, and give other crafting terminals better loot. So let's give it a try. Now, if I could only remember what the hell I was talking about. Jeez, wish I could just pause and go back in the episode. Maybe it was something to do with the vlogging. I think there was some other news about gaming. Can't remember it right now. Maybe I'll just browse Facebook quick while we do this and see if I can see anything that triggers my memory. No, I think that was it for the fucking filming information, vlogging. Yeah, so I'm going to try the rollerblading and vlogging. Hopefully I don't wipe out too bad. I was thinking I've never really wiped out in my entire rollerblading career, except for once or twice. And it was when I had a little bit too much to drink, and I was rollerblading on my own property, I swear, not on public roads. But anyways, yeah, so when I wiped out, all I did was fall on my butt. So it wasn't really that bad. It's like I was actually feeling a buzz so much I didn't even notice that I had fallen. I was like, oh, I'm on the ground. So no big wipeouts. So I think I could be okay. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it. I should be able to vlog and film at the same time. So yeah, that's what I was thinking, guys. Never get too down in the dumps when the universe is like, hey, giving you a whole bunch of bullshit, gives you a whole case of lemons. Fucking just break out the tequila, man. And I don't think I would have ever done this idea of rollerblading and filming if it wasn't for all that series of bad luck. For my discs breaking, can't being able to order them. For my bike breaking and not being able to reorder it. For some reason, Amazon still has rollerblades. I guess not many people are into it. I did kind of notice that over the years. Back when rollerblades in my area first came out, everyone was riding them. It was like it was more popular than bikes. But then as years went on, it seemed like everyone phased back to bikes. I know what it is for me, is when you arrive at a destination, if you're on a bike, you can just lock it, walk away, because you're wearing shoes. But if you rollerblade somewhere, you can't lock your rollerblades anywhere outside, and you can't just take them off and walk away because you won't have any shoes then. So you almost have to carry a backpack with you in order to have all that shit. And that's quite a big hassle. So that's why I think most people switch back. But I was thinking, geez, if I'm just going out to film a destination and then rollerblading home, I don't really need to take the rollerblades off because I won't be going indoors anywhere with the whole pandemic situation. So yeah, that's my plan for that. And well, who knows, the rollerblades could arrive any day. It said by the 20th, so we'll see. My first outdoor vlog episode is going to be dependent on when those arrive. Yeah, wish me luck, guys. Hopefully I don't wipe out. That's what I figure. could be a disaster where all of a sudden, here I thought everything was going to improve, that the Chinese farmer was just leading me towards a really good situation, but maybe not. Yeah, but you have to take a chance to have a chance in life, right? I could just sit around in my basement getting high all day and do nothing, but I don't think that's really going to get me anywhere in life. It'll just make me fat, lazy, and depressed. Yeah, that was the other gaming news. They said that pinball machines had gotten popular again. I was thinking, man, there was a Star Trek Next Generation pinball machine that I used to play when I was a kid. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Right, so we'll leave this up on the screen, and I'll finish my other story. Oh fuck, as I said that I forgot. God, my short-term memory is fucking fried again. Oh my god, 10 seconds it's back to. Oh, this really sucks. Okay, I've remembered, thank God. Yeah, I was talking about the Entropia problem I was having with my computer, and I managed to solve it. Yeah, what it was is I noticed when I was going through with Microsoft customer support, they had no idea what the problem was, but there was literally like tens of thousands of people all having the same problem, and no one could fix it. So I was like, Microsoft couldn't fix it, none of the other people in the chat could fix it. Just like fucking pages and pages of people bitching that they can't get their computer to boot properly. And I know, oh, we got a Sleipner print, yeah! And 4 pet all together. That was sweet. Alright, don't distract me, game. Don't be giving me Hall of Fames and ruin my story. But anyways, yeah, so what happened was I'm like, wait a minute, there has to be a way to fix this, and it's so basic that most people don't even run into the problem. And they don't even see it as a problem because they didn't run into it. So the one Microsoft guy, tech support, he was smart. He's like, okay, just set everything back so that it has a password, because you changed it to not having a password. Like, I know people in the chat were giving me the advice, they're listing the steps, go into that NetWiz thing on the command prompt, or the start command, type NetWiz please, or whatever, get into that and untick the tick bar that says boot automatically without requiring a password. But that was the problem. When I clicked that and unclicked it, it said it was all set up for not requiring the password, but when you reboot the computer, it would come up and say password incorrect, enter it manually. I was like, fuck. I set it so it isn't even supposed to ask for a password. What the fuck, right? So yeah, that's the fucking steps. I was like, man, something went fucking wrong when I was clicking that box, and that's all you had to do was click the box or not click it. And then I was like, wait a minute, it also asked you for 3 questions after you unclick the box, and if you put it in right or wrong, it won't give you a warning message, it'll just boot up, and if it's wrong, it'll say it's wrong password and not boot. So I was like, holy fuck, how do you change this so that it doesn't say wrong password? That was the problem. So everyone in the chat who tried to help, sorry guys, the answers that you gave there were wrong, because that wouldn't fix the problem. I would just still untick the box and it would say wrong password when it boots. And then I was thinking, like when I put the password in manually, I put the exact same one in that I told in the setup, and it works. So right off the bat, I know that warning message is saying wrong password. That's wrong for Microsoft, because the password is correct. I can just type it in manually and it's correct. So I was like, what the fuck? Why is it saying wrong password? So I'm like, wait a minute, maybe one of the other questions in the field was wrong, and then it comes up as a wrong password because it doesn't match the above fields. So I'm like, okay, that's where I got the idea from the Microsoft guy. He's like, turn the password back on, and then do the same steps to turn it off and see if it works this time. So I did it, and it didn't work still. But then I started to realize I was reading over the field questions. One of them is to asking you for your password, one's to confirm the password, and the other one is your username. It asks specifically for your username. And what I assumed was that it wanted a username. So I was putting my username in that field. I was like, wait a minute, what happens if Microsoft fucked up and when they put username, they actually wanted your email address, not your username? Because my username for my computer is Leland. It's like when your computer boots up, it says, hello user, Leland, right? So I was thinking, that's my username. It even says, welcome user, Leland, right? So I'm like, wait a minute, I bet you that's the fucking problem. Is Microsoft fucked up when they wrote the question fields? They put username, but what they really needed was your email address from Hotmail, or whatever your Microsoft email address is. So that's what I did. I'm like, hey, fuck doing what the field says. I'm going to put in my email address in that field instead of my username, then see what happens. Boom, restarted my computer, worked like a fucking charm. Didn't ask for the password. So I was like, oh, this whole time it was fucking Microsoft's fault. They labeled the field wrong. So that's why there's thousands and thousands of people that can't figure out this problem. They're literally asking for the wrong information, and if you put it in as what they asked, it doesn't work. So it's like, I don't know how all these other people managed to realize that they wanted an email address and not a username. Like, yeah, hats off to you guys. You figured out that problem, no problem, without even realizing that it was a problem, probably. Some people probably just typed in their email address right off the bat and didn't even put a username. So that's what I told Microsoft customer support. I'm like, hey guys, I finally found the problem that you can't fucking solve for thousands of people asking you. It's like your field is asking for a username, but that's incorrect. What you need to put in is your Hotmail address or your Microsoft fucking email address, not your username. And then the only thing I can think is some people's username is their email address, but for what? It's like, I don't have any account that my username is my email address. Mine is Leland. So I don't know. And then Microsoft is like, oh, really? That fixed it. Like, you should write a fucking blog about this and recommend that we fix it. I'm like, I'm not recommending shit. You guys either fix it yourself. I'm not doing any more work for you. But what I did is I posted a video sharing the solution to that problem. And then maybe later today, I'll go through and share it with all those forums where people are all trying to figure it out. And that's the one thing. Everyone keeps putting their computer username in that field, I bet. Instead, they needed to put their email address where it says username. Now, I think that's what some things do, right? Like, even when you log into Entropia, I think that's what it was getting me. For Entropia, when you log in, you can put in your username, or you can put in your email address. So I was thinking, oh, that's a case where the two fields are interchangeable. So yeah, I'm so glad I figured that out. Thank God, Sober October saves the day again. I fucking suffered for years when I was too high to figure that out. All it took was 1 month of sobriety and I fucking fixed the goddamn problem. Thank God. Alright guys, I'm gonna try to eat some fucking omega-3s today. Maybe I'll get some, like, I don't know, anchovies on my pizza or something. I gotta try something to increase my short-term memory. I can't believe it's down to 10 seconds again. Fucking sucks. Now, I was kind of worried about that because every time that I ever damaged my short-term memory in life, I thought back and I was like, oh shit, that's when I was doing the cutting back on food. It's like one time I fasted for 2 weeks, I got my fucking short-term memory down to about 5 seconds. I was like, holy fuck. So then I started eating some omega-3s and got my nutrients back up. Boom, my memory recovered, but not quite as what it was. Yeah, so just be really careful when you're doing those 1 meals a day or any crazy, like, restrictive diets. You can fucking damage your memory like you would not believe. And then once it happens, it's usually too late and there's nothing really you can do to improve it. So just be fucking careful, guys. Not to give health advice, but man, it's dangerous. That's why I laugh when I see all those new age people and they're always giving advice to stuff. I'm like, pretty much any new age hippie advice will fucking kill you. It's ridiculous how dangerous some of their ideas are. Like walking around in bare feet in southern tropic climates, that's a fucking nightmare. Like they keep saying, oh, it's called grounding. You can get energy and connect to the ancients. I'm like, really? That's how you get fucking parasites in your feet, like hookworm. You don't want to be fucking getting the knowledge of the ancients and risking fucking hookworm, for God's sakes. Same thing with veganism. Dear God, I've lost track to how many people's lives have been ruined by veganism. Like even like some women I know went through a fucking nightmare where they lost their periods and everything. They're trying to figure out why their fucking hair and teeth are falling out. And it's like, dear God, you think it could be your restrictive diet maybe? No, they believe the new age hippie shit. And I've been guilty of it too. Like I bought into a lot of that new age hippie stuff, even tried the fasting and all that shit. My record was 2 weeks of fasting. Boy, it damaged my body. Like water fasting, obviously still drinking liquids. Yeah, so whenever someone has some like new age hippie ideas for you guys, just be fucking careful. You'd be surprised how bad it can fuck you up. Speaking of getting fucked up. Today's new age hippie ideas were brought to you by Crack! Crack! It'll fuck you up. Woo! Now, I think the main reason I always fell for the new age hippie ideas, excuse me, it's usually really hot chicks that are promoting it. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try to impress the chicks by doing what they do. But really, it's not worth it. It's like hell, most vegan women lose their fucking sex drive because they can't have sex without fucking hormones from animals. I guess you could get hormones from avocado or something, I don't know. Now, not to pick on the vegan diet, part of my religion actually does it for special occasions. Like Christmas Eve, we're not supposed to eat meat. So I was like, okay, there's the occasional like one day or maybe couple days of it in my religion, so I shouldn't be bashing it so much. And that's not really a new age idea. Fucking religious ideas go back thousands of years. You know? No, I really appreciate though all the Entropia people and put in the comments trying to win that 100 ped for fixing the problem. If anyone else does it in the future and has the problem, just beware that what fucking it up is putting in your username where it says username. If you don't put in your email address, it won't work. Or maybe there is some username that will work and I just guessed the wrong username. I just assumed when it said user Leland that was my username, right? What a dumb assumption. That's what they say. To spell assume, you need ass and you and me, right? Makes an ass out of you and me. That's it. Totally butchered that joke. Alright, let's try a couple new crafting terminals. I think I milked this one. What did I get? The Sleipner print here? That was pretty sweet. Woohoo! Yeah, I miss the days when thruster prints were worth, what was it, like 8,000? It's like, man, when you hit a full condition, like 99 or 80 clicks of a thruster print, that was like over 100 ped. So that was like a decent sized Hall of Fame just for looting a print. I miss those days. That's what I was thinking, guys. If we can ever get into Never Die's plan about using vehicles way more in the game, like maybe he can make like a halfway consolidation to it, where not all the teleporters will require the teleport tokens. Just say like 80, 70%, I don't know, whatever's a good number to make everyone happy. Or as many people as happy as possible. You can never make everyone happy. So yeah, maybe that's what we should do. Or like get some sort of destruction derby events. I don't know if Calypso or other people that create events, if they could figure out a way to do that. A destruction derby would be the ultimate. Because then we could start fucking just rifling through vehicles, right? And then if we use a whole ton of vehicles up, boom. Then all of a sudden the price on these prints goes up. Then it makes the fucking Sandrunner fuel cell print worth doing. I was just here, you idiot. I don't think it was Warrior Peak. I liked Warrior Peak, but I'm pretty sure it didn't have a crafting terminal. Or if it did, I didn't find it. It's probably right in front of me and I didn't see it. Oh yeah, this was one of the places I think I liked to craft. Remember I came here and people were enjoying their crafting? Or at least I did. Yeah, see there is people here crafting. I don't know what's going on at this teleporter that so many people are here. Let's give it a try. Right, how many days till Sober October is over? Fuck. It's ending soon. I'm actually not looking forward to smoking weed again. It's kind of nice to like break the addiction nearly completely. I don't even really glance at my vaporizer anymore, even though it's sitting right next to me. And then the whole thing, people are like, oh, it's great to save money too, but actually no. I've got really a lifetime supply of weed, so I really don't have to worry about spending even a dime on it. I sucked at growing for years and years. Well, the first legal year I sucked at growing. I butchered it, fucking insect problems, mold problems, you name it. I fucking found the problems. Yeah, if there's any ever a contest at finding problems, sign me up. I'll fucking kick ass. No, but this year I followed more of the advice, and I did get a little bit of the mold issues just because my greenhouse had a lot of fucking steam buildup going in it. You gotta wake up at the crack of dawn and crack the roof so it doesn't have a whole bunch of steam for when it turns to daytime. Because man, that'll make your plants go moldy if it's stuck in too high of humidity, right? But, and the strain I got one of the government strains, Ghost Train Haze. So it's actually the strain that I love the taste of. So it's like, finally, like so many other plants I grew last time, I went for like just the biggest bud or the most fancy colors. But then after I grew them, I fucking couldn't stand the taste of it. And I did the different harvest time. Before I was harvesting during the day, and I found out, nope, that's the wrong time because it'll make it taste like shit. It has all the chlorophyll in it then. So if you wait till the harvest at night, you don't get all the chlorophyll, and then it makes your weed taste better. And then last year, I ruined all the weed by putting in jars and trying to cure it. I found out that's just a mistake. You gotta try to get in the freezer and freezer bag it as quick as you can, like shrink wrap it or whatever you're doing. I guess technically I could just put in regular bags in the freezer. I'm probably gonna have to do that because the shrink wrap vacuum seal bags are over a month late. I think half my harvest has already gone bad waiting to put in the freezer. Probably like 2 pounds down the fucking drain. But even the stuff that tastes bad because I waited too long to put in the freezer, I can still make edibles and I could squish it. Just squish the THC right out. So yeah, that's some of the shit going on these days for me. What is everyone else up to? Everyone else have a good harvest season in Canada? What other countries that it's legal to harvest plants? Now I'm gonna try to get some steak and fucking beets into me so I can get some more iron. God, it'd be nice to get an extra boost for working out again too. Really, this quitting cannabis, I noticed, like, the one thing that I miss about weed is quitting weed. Because that little rush of like a week or so of not being tired all the time is fucking amazing. And not being hungry all the time, although I don't really get hungry all the time anymore still. My appetite pretty much has stabilized at a low appetite. Thank God. For a while there, I never thought I was going to be able to do it. But it was like fucking... The quitting weed was like the motivation, that extra chemical reaction that makes you not hungry. And did anyone hear the story from Strain Hunters? There's a YouTube show called Strain Hunters, and I won't give away the ending because, man, it's a tragic story and it's heartbreaking and it's really intense to watch. So if anyone wants to jump into Strain Hunters, I think it was a show on TV, but now they have all their episodes on YouTube also. Well, over a head, but nothing good in prints yet. So anyways, they're exploring Africa in the deep of the heart of the Congo to try to find one of the land races. What happened was when the ancient, the red-haired people in Europe, the Scythians, invented cannabis. What happened was they were seafaring and they managed to take their seeds to like all corners of the globe, pretty much. Like they brought some to India, they brought some to Africa, they brought some to Europe. It's like all the cannabis sort of split up all over the world. I don't know, did even some make it to South America? No, I'm pretty sure that weed didn't make it there until modern times, but anyways, so as weed began to separate into, they called it land races because each land, it started to mutate slightly when it arrived. I don't know, like my gravity well research talks about how gravity well fields can speed up the evolution or change things to change into other things. And it just so happens some species are more susceptible to the changes than others, not just animals, but also plants. And one of the plants that mutates under gravity well fields the most just so happens to be cannabis. If anyone wants the biggest proof of that, check out Australian bastard cannabis. When cannabis went to Australia, it got hit by the gravity well field that creates marsupials, and it fucking mutated the plant like you would not believe. You can almost tell it's not even marijuana anymore. It doesn't have like spiky leaves anymore. It started growing round leaves. And then it still has the red hairs and crystals and THC, but other than that, you'd never tell by looking at it that it was cannabis. So anyways, the show about the strain hunters, they went around the world trying to find every like land race so that they could have like an archive of seeds of like every different type of cannabis as far back as you could go. Yeah, maybe I'll get onto a little bit of the occult knowledge of it. You know what's the weirdest thing? When I started researching the occult and looking into the ancient, like, these red-haired people that used to dominate the Middle East, I found out that they were the Canaanites, they were into cannabis, they liked to do stargazing to the Canis Major star system, and they were cannibals. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, isn't our language like a big clue to solving this mystery? It's like all the fucking words are like almost connecting. It's like, I don't know, that's a little bit weird coincidences, no? I know I did a slide about it and people are like, man, that's so fucked. It's like, that can't be any connection. I'm like, well, I don't believe so either, but I still mention it because, man, look how fucked up it is, right? So eventually the Canaanites became the Scythians. And they also ruled part of Egypt for a while. That's why you find so many red-haired mummies when they crack open the oldest dynasty tombs. But the reason all these red-haired people got driven to live in Ireland was the whole fucking, the cannibalism thing. People weren't cool with them stealing babies and eating them, right? So maybe rightfully so that they got driven out. And it was the new tribes of Israel that helped drive them out too. And that was the whole thing in the Bible. They had to get rid of the fucking evil cannibals. You know who was one of the most famous red-haired giants from that got driven out? It was fucking Goliath. I didn't even know that, eh? Back when I was a kid in school, they used to always teach us that Goliath either had black skin or he was like Arab or that he had like dark skin. And then later I found out when I was researching the history, I'm like, no, he actually had red hair and he was European. I was like, what the fuck? So I remember even asking my priest about that in church. I'm like, so who are all these like sons of Noah that the new tribes are wiping out? Like, what did they look like? And he's like, well, no one really knows. It's like, meanwhile, you can just, it's a Roman version of history that doesn't know. But when you go into the Celtic version, yeah, they already know who it all is. They got all the bloodlines traced and everything. And Josephus, the fucking Jewish historian that's outside the Bible, he even confirmed it too. It's all the ancient red hair people. So that's why Jesus had red hair. That's why Da Vinci drew him with red hair. It's because it was common knowledge back then before the Romans fucking changed all their history and tried to revise it all to match their agendas. That's hence why the Irish, there's not a lot of Catholic Irish. Or I guess it wasn't the most popular thing in Ireland to buy into the Romanized version of the church. They had their own. Yeah, but anyway, so that's the cannabis thing, is the land hunter or strain hunters, they went to the Congo and they found out that there was a strain that's been surviving in the heart of the Congo jungle for like centuries going back or whatever to the Scythians, like 1,000 years or whatever. It's been there that long, isolated, and the gravity wells mutated it dramatically too. So guess what the gravity wells mutated cannabis to become in the Congo? They changed it. And there's actually a clue, because you can see it's affecting not only the cannabis, but other things in that area of Africa. You know how normally cannabis has a chemical in it that stimulates appetite? It makes you feel hungry all the time? Turns out the gravity well field in Africa does the opposite. It makes everything less hungry. So that's what it did to cannabis. It gave it a chemical called CBDB. And CBDB or whatever, or C, yeah, something like that. You'd have to watch the Land Hunters. I could be getting the chemical name wrong. But anyways, that chemical drastically suppresses appetite. so that anyone that smokes that weed can't eat any food the rest of the day. They'll just feel completely full. So the strain hunters, they brought that strain back, isolated the chemical, and they're trying to make weed these days. Like, keep breeding it, because they said the problem was, despite having the appetite suppressant, it had very low THC content. So what they're planning to do is increase the THC so that people still want to vaporize it or smoke it to get a buzz. But instead of making people hungry, it'll make them feel like so full they can't eat. Now, isn't it weird too? It's like, you notice that in Africa, it's like there is a little bit more starvation there. And it's like, could it be because the gravity wells are actually influencing things to eat less? Like, that's the weird part. Like, Africa is like such a fucking vibrant country with so many resources, including food. So it's like, why would everyone be starving if there's food everywhere, right? It's like one of the most abundant places you can find food. The animals you could eat, all the plants, like fucking perfect growing conditions for crops. So yeah, that's the weird thing is, like, Congo weed might hit the market and it'll be mutated from being in Africa so long. Yeah, one of these days, I think I might do a cannabis series where I'll just release all the technical or scientific information I've been researching about cannabis. So man, I could fucking write a phone book of just some of the stuff I've learned in the past few years. Yeah, so guys, don't get too carried away playing video games all the time. I know I'm one to talk. I play video games 2 hours a day, every day. But no, there's more to life than video games and stuff. Studying information. We're lucky we live in a planet with so many mysteries. So much mystery, so much knowledge. A lot of cool shit. Right, so yeah, the other thing I was talking about in video game news was the coronavirus has led to a spike in pinball popularity. That was one of the stories. I was thinking, yeah, if I could ever get my hands on a pinball machine, the ultimate favorite one I used to play in high school, it was like on our lunch break, we would hop on the bus, go uptown. It's like the downtown, but uptown. And they had the Star Trek Next Generation pinball machine. And oh my god, was it fun. It's like, it was one of those ones where I think it costed extra, like 50 cents instead of 25 cents. But when you played it, you could play it for like a half hour without dying. There were so many bonus games and ways to win new balls, in case anyone needs new balls. I swear I don't. Mine are perfectly good. Except for, no, I'm just kidding. No, one time I got frostbite really bad at a job, actually when I was working for the university. Man, I froze my balls so bad, they fucking stung for like a week. I was like, oh god, hopefully I don't have to amputate them. No, thank god they did recover though. I hope. Now all the ladies are thinking, oh, that's where the finishing quick story comes from. Nah, I swear it has nothing to do with that. It's just two hot girlfriends. It's all their fault. Yeah, man. Alright, get my mind out of the gutter. Yeah, so, I don't know what's gonna happen today. Gonna have to go over to my brother's place, drop off that weed. Hopefully I don't stay at the games night too long. I don't want to be chancing shit. I don't know, I'm pretty sure the UFC fights are on tonight. I don't know if it's the big fight with Khabib, but I might check that out too. I might try to make it home in time to watch that, or just record it, I guess. Now, I think my city is technically in the lockdown situation where we're still allowed to have like 1 or 2 people in your house, so really only 1 or 2 other people are coming for the games night, because it's just the guys I used to work with at my old job. Now, I miss that old job. It was pretty sweet. That's the place that I got to meet Wayne Gretzky's dad. Hang out with him. Talk hockey. Yeah, I still can't believe I was so lucky I got to talk hockey with Wayne Gretzky's dad. I guess the only way that would be better is if I got to talk to Gretzky himself, but still. That's the cool thing about like golf, right? Like celebrities are really into golf, so if you work at a popular golf course, there's a chance you'll get to meet a whole bunch of celebrities. Now, at one point, I'd been working there, I think, what was it, 9 years? And I'd reached the point where I was like on a first name basis. Well, I actually called them by their last names because you're not allowed to say their first names when you work for a prestigious place, right? But anyways, yeah, I basically knew the owners of every major company in the entire country. Like you name it, I knew the owner by a first name basis. Like they knew my first name and I would say their last name. And it was like every store owner too. Like if any time I went into a store and the owner came out, they're like, "Oh, hi, Leland." So that's the one advantage too. Like sure, working at a golf course won't pay very good, but man, if you ever want to make job connections and stuff, like I got offered a lot of real high paying jobs. Now, usually I was one of those people who would rather just do what they love doing rather than take a job that pays really well that's gonna make your life miserable. I know like a lot of ladies aren't going to be impressed by that because they want good providers, but it's like, hey, I just wanted what was good for me. Fuck them. It's like I have a roof over my head, enough food to eat. I don't really give a shit about trying to buy a fancy car to drive women around. It's like I don't want to be a professional chauffeur for the rest of my life, even if it means being fucking single longer than most people. No, I shouldn't say that because I've actually dated quite a few girls that didn't care about vehicles either. I noticed if when you go and party in big cities like Toronto, you meet girls there all the time that don't have large cars or licenses because everyone in the big city is already used to using the subway and they don't bother using cars. So yeah, don't get down the dumps, guys, too. If you're saving money, I know these days it's hard times and you don't have a vehicle and you're getting depressed because a lot of women reject you for not having a vehicle to drive them around. The whole equality thing. I'm independent, but I need a vehicle to drive me everywhere. No, but don't get too down the dumps about it, because really you can just go to a big city and then you'll find some ladies that are actually not caring if you have a car or not. No, I find it funny dating in like my city for not having a car. It's like sometimes I'll like post it in the dating things, like, oh, I don't have a vehicle. And then you pretty much just get rejected by every woman on there. But it's like, only if I said I wanted a relationship. Then I was like, all I had to do is change it to no strings attached, just like good times. And then not having a vehicle didn't matter. I started getting flooded with fucking comments about people wanting to go and make out. Then I was like, dear God, I really don't like that whole idea of just going out and making out with random strangers. Mainly because I'm a fucking germaphobe. And I fucking can't take the risk of doing it. It's like, I guess getting an STD isn't the end of the world. It happens to most people. What is it, 2 out of 3 people, I think they said now? It's fucking ridiculous, but... Yeah, but... I don't know. I would still try to avoid it just to play it safe. I know obviously you can wear protection and stuff, but in case you haven't heard, most condoms only offer 10% protection against most diseases. So I'm like, 10%, eh? It's like, that doesn't really sound too safe to me. Now, I think condoms were mainly designed just to prevent pregnancy, right? And then they started to say, oh, it can help prevent diseases, but really it's like wearing a mask. It's only going to offer a very limited protection. Mainly because you can imagine, most people don't use condoms like they're designed on the package. They say you're supposed to hold it on the whole time so it doesn't slide. So how many people actually do that? Alright, so I guess we'll wrap up the show before I discuss anything more disgusting. If anyone's still listening, you guys are troopers. Yeah. That reminds me of the eyeball from Lord of the Rings, eh? The fucking big creature. I'm watching you. Alright, so let's wrap up the show quick. Oh yeah, before I wrap up the show, almost forgot one of my favorite parts of the show. Yeah, did I forget it? Yes, I did. Alright, if you want to help out my show while you're watching, if you could help do the Bitcoin casino spins, that's always great. It helps me keep the show going. Not because of making tons of money, it's just like a little motivation factor. It's like even pennies seems to be enough to motivate me. Alright, so 36,169 Satoshi. Sorry to put emphasis on that last part. Gotta get my mind out of the gutter. 36,187. Woohoo! Alright, so I think that's it for today. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Tomorrow's episode, when that daily crafting mission is back, I'll be doing the big Lesser Elijah one. We'll see what kind of luck we get, if we get any new clothing prints. Maybe not all of them are from that mining mission. So maybe you can get other ones too. That'd be sweet. Right, appreciate all the patrons that are helping. You guys are the greatest. Society 6, you're cool too. Swagbucks, great way to save money online. GameKit, get paid to be a gamer. Hideout, get paid to watch videos. Oh yeah, and that was the update I heard about Hideout. Hideout sent a message that they're apologizing for the payouts being really low watching Hideout TV on your desktop computer. And I found out what they did is they switched it so if anyone downloads the app and watches it on their, what is it, Android TV devices, I think they called it a Fire Stick or something, they said that you're making like 10 times more if you watch it on that. And that's what I was wondering, because back in the day I used to be able to make over 1,000 points just from one day of watching it. And I was like, holy shit, now I watch it, it's like 100 points, what a rip. But no, that's why they switched it to the Fire Sticks. So if you guys can watch Hideout TV on your Fire Stick or other Android devices, I'll have to find out which ones are all compatible, but yeah, apparently it pays out way more. So after you signed up, watch it on that, boom, you'll be raking in 10 times the amount. So that's kind of very encouraging. I'll try it myself and see if it works and give you guys an update. If anyone else watches it and gives an update, put it in the chat. I'd be glad to hear from you. Right, so Bitcoin's the lottery thing I just did, and it's the most trusted one on the internet, guys, with like I think 7 years of history without ripping anyone off, so don't fear that it's like a scam or something. Although still, never invest more than you can afford to lose, because we never know what's going to happen with the price of Bitcoin. If it goes up to 1 million, hey, we'll cash in, but if it bombs, hopefully we didn't lose anything that we couldn't afford to. Alright, virtual made sex machines for adults and men only, but if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. Just kidding, unless you're near Toronto. But anyways, what else was there? Well, yeah, the virtual maid has apparently started shipping out to backers, but I still haven't got mine yet. And I've been messaging customer service for questions, and they've never once responded back to me for multiple different questions over multiple months. So don't be too paranoid if they don't get back to you. I think what it is it's like one person or very small team operation. So they're having a really hard time getting back to everyone, especially since they got thousands of orders. Probably people are all fucking messaging saying, how come some backers got it and I didn't yet? Or if you did order and it hasn't arrived, I think I seen one thing where they said to remind customer service and they'll try to get your order in faster. I don't know if that's true or not. Finishing quick was my specialty, but I'm not sure if it's theirs. Yeah, I got the shirt links below with Society 6. It comes in bed sheets, very popular with the ladies, trust me. Alright, so what else was there? If you happen to get, let's say, some metal residue in your vaporizer and tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. Doesn't happen, help with a like. And if you want to dislike it, that's pretty cool too, because those actually motivate me more than any of the likes do. Alright, take care everyone, and have a good night, or a good weekend. Make sure to try to listen to the authorities, even though they don't always have the greatest information. We gotta at least replace them first, get them to resign, and vote in some people that can actually make laws that we want to follow. Not like these laws that go against the will of the people. So yeah, let's pray for the best. Hopefully the Netherlands lawsuit goes through. I can hardly wait to see how that works out. Alright, take care everyone. See ya. Oh yeah, make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor. It will ruin your life. Take care. Here's 3 things. See ya.